we're unsure of what the format is going to be. And let me just quickly figure this out. So, do you know? Is there anything that you know of? Maybe it's what the format's going to be. Do you think it's going to be full qualifying or
Nah,
short?
I think Lights Lights just said that it will be um short. I'm pretty sure it's short.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best situation because people do have to do some stuff. I think it's gonna be it's hard because these glitches are unexpected. And these things happen, and it's how it goes. And I hope Codemasters do fix these glitches because it is getting a little difficult to commentate. I got to be honest on some of these glitches, but it is the way it goes. We have to deal with it, and of course we will move on. I'm sure Codemasters are working on it. As we speak. So, while we're waiting for the new invites to come out,
I don't know really. I don't really know.
well, I think we can talk about maybe the strategy. That's a good point. I was going to mention this right before we were getting into Q2. I was going to mention what the strategy was going to be for the actual the actual Q2, what tires these guys are going to be qualifying on, because the thing is that degradation for the Singapore Grand Prix is ridiculous, guys. It's super difficult to handle these soft tires. Mediums go well for around here, but to be honest, they only go for a max of around 14 laps. I'm serious, guys. They actually don't last very long. So softs, mediums, and even hards, actually, it's just
I'd personally go for a two-stop because there's lots of when you do a two-stop and there's lots of chaos. When you do the pit stop, you're just gonna feel blessed because there's gonna be a safety car and it's gonna be easy for you to catch up if you're one of the better in the league. Like for example, let's say I don't know, Josh does a two-stop and there's lots of safety cars and he's all the way back at the grid. He could just swoop down and possibly go into P1.
To see how this race happens, and strategy, that's a big thing as well. I mean, we're looking at it right now on the loading screen. We're seeing the turn 1, 2, and 3 section of the track. It is a very difficult section of the track, but it does provide some great racing as well. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, I just got an invite and I cannot join. Don't know why. Let's try again. Join.
I'm getting the same thing, and I wonder if we're going to have to restart the game. This is another glitch,
Joining session.
unfortunately.
Okay, I'm in.
Oh, you're
I'm
in.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will try and accept. Start a new one. So give me
I
one
gave you an
second. Thank you for
invite.
the awesome. Thank you very much. I wonder if I can just do this. 1 second, viewers.
Yeah, bit short, Quali.
Okay, cool.
Good decision.
Yeah, it looks like I'm unable to join. I may need to restart my game, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's bad. Just need to. I also need to do something. 1 sec.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, viewers, I'm not be able to join the session. So what's going to happen is I'm going to close this stream. You can go ahead and leave, and then the new stream will come up, and we'll get a full race there. So give me 1 second. You'll see a new stream come up. I'll send out the links and everything like that, so you guys won't miss that. So yeah, see you guys in the new stream. Alright, I just restarted my stream because I wasn't able to get in.
Alright, I'm back. I've done the thing I needed to do.
Okay, cool. Yep, I just restarted the stream because I couldn't get in. So the stream's off right now. I'll start it up once I get back in and you're ready to go too.
Yeah, I've already got my... Yeah, you're in now.
Okay, cool. Alright, and since this thing takes like a minute to do, I'll just start it now. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, looks like we're back underway. So, guys, thank you so much for your patience. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulty that was going on with the game glitching and all that sort of thing, but we are back in the session. So what has happened is the full qualifying session has basically been scrapped, and now we're heading into this short qualifying race kind of thing. So that's how that's going to work out because of the little glitch that was happening with the Codemasters game. Unfortunate to see that, of course, but that's the way it goes. So real quickly, if you guys did miss out on that stream, there was some key information that we're taking a look at, of course, but I'll quickly review what we were quickly talking about, of course. So we're here at the Singapore Grand Prix, the Marina Bay Street Circuit, of course, for the WCR Diamond Class race here in Season 5. This is round 16 of the championship. And joining me in the commentary booth is D-Snug Gaming. So today we're going to be commentating on the Singapore Grand Prix. And what should we talk about? What's first we should talk about?
I feel like strategy is going to be a big thing. Like 2 stops, 1 stops. Like it's going to be a bit of a mega mind, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. I think strategy is going to be huge in today's race because, of course, degradation is super high for around this track, guys. I mean, the heat on this track is crazy as well. As I mentioned in the previous stream as well, Singapore is very close to the equator, so we get a lot of heat. In real life, the degradation is pretty high as well. In this game, we have a lot of degradation on the tires. The softs don't last long, not even the mediums, and the hards are kind of not the greatest tire either. So in terms of tires, they don't last long. And I think we're kind of basically saying that is going to be a 2-stop, possibly even a 3-stop. What's your thoughts on all that?
Damage-wise, it can be a 3-stop, maybe even a 4, maybe even a 5. If there's going to be lots and lots of contact, lots of booms, lots of crashes everywhere, then lots of damage, then that's 100% going to be lots of pit stops and possibly even double stacks, which can cost the team.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I think the crashes, there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be a lot of safety cars as well, which affects the end results of this Grand Prix. You know, this affects the championship as well. We talked about this a lot in the previous session that we just had. we have, of course, the Drivers' Championship that's going to go down to the last remaining races of the season. It's super close. Same thing with the Constructors' standings as well. It's super close. And today's race could affect the points of the championship going forward into the final remaining rounds of the WCR calendar. Because, of course, this track, like I mentioned, has a lot of crashes. There's a lot of crashes, a lot of safety cars that can happen as well. I'm expecting at least 2 safety cars, I'd say. At least 2, maybe even 3, maybe even 4 safety cars, just because of how close the walls is, of course. It is a street circuit. The Marina Bay street circuit, located in Singapore, of course, has got a lot of walls. It's a public road as well. It's actually the second DRS zone down to turn 7 is actually called Raffles Boulevard. So it's actually a road itself. So yeah, it's a public road, a lot of walls, and that allows for a lot of crashes as well.
Yes, it can cause chaos, many things like that. And it can cost lots of points, can cost lots of things going around, going around everywhere. And I'll say again, it can cause chaos. It can cause chaos.
Yep, yeah, it does. I mean, I think that's a big point to talk about in today's race is just all that, all the crashes and stuff like that. It could affect everyone's racing today. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think we're going to get a very entertaining Grand Prix in terms of just action out on track. We're going to see a lot of overtakes, I think. We're going to most likely see a lot of action in terms of drivers making strategy calls, and possibly weather could come into effect as well. It's going to be a very entertaining race.
Yes, it can going to be very entertaining, and there's going to be it's just going to be, hopefully, not dirty driving, because that's just not going to be fun. It's just going to be annoying, and you will get penalised for that, because it's just horrible. It's just a horrible scenario, and it can cost lots of arguments and things like that.
Yeah, it definitely can. I think we'll see how it all works out in terms of the incidents out on track. I think it should be all good, you know. I think all these drivers, they're very clean racers, of course, so they know where to give space and all that sort of thing. So it should be all good there. But we'll see how it all works out. It's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix, and I think all these drivers are looking forward to it. Of course, we're looking forward to it here in the commentary box, and I hope all the viewers are looking forward to it as well. It's going to be a very entertaining Grand Prix. I think all these guys are going to put on the best show as they can, as WCR delivers an amazing race each and every week that we have a race in WCR. But just want to say, guys, thank you so much for joining this stream so far. I know there was a little bit of technical difficulties that was going on with the previous stream in WCR, so apologies for that, but we're all good. We're all up on the air, and we're live once again on 3 different channels. We're live on the World Championship Racing YouTube channel. Subscribe there to see more WCR content on this league for Season 5, and of course Season 6 that's coming up next season as well. Also, subscribe to my co-commentator's channel as well, DSNA Gaming, of course. DSNA has his YouTube channel, which he does a lot of content on there as well, so definitely subscribe to there as well. And also subscribe to the Twitch channel that we're streaming on as well, my channel, the Formula Jonah Twitch channel, so you guys can see commentary on WCR and all the other leagues I commentate on as well. But with all the promotion stuff out of the way, let's get into this race. Actually, one more thing I wanted to quickly mention. If you guys do have any questions or anything like that, please let us know in the comment section below. We'll try and respond to as many of those as possible. If you guys have any questions about maybe predictions, upcoming races, and maybe this championship, or just questions in general about really anything, ask us in the comment section below. We'd highly appreciate that, of course. But I want to get your thoughts, DSNA Gaming, on this this track and what is going to be happening in today's race. Your thoughts possibly on who will possibly come out on top in today's qualifying session.
Before that chaotic of a technical technical problem. In Q1 we saw Shabby put in amazing lap times, and I'm thinking Shabby can push forward and go to the top and set up a good lap time, because as I'm currently on board with him, he gets purple in sector 1 and now just 2 so he's probably going to get fastest lap here.
Well, let's see. I think he's flying right now. You mentioned that he's got purple in the second sector here. Into the third now. He's looking pretty strong as he comes under the tunnel now to begin the end part of the lap. A very difficult part of the track. This really is a lot of bumps right here, right there, and right there. You want to get right between that curb, not to go too wide. Shabby comes into the pit lane. He decides to back off on that lap.
That's very intriguing because he just backed out from a possibly provisional pole position lap time. So that can cost Mercedes.
I think he wanted to back off because I think he messed up a little bit in the first sector. I saw him kind of just going back and forth there. I saw his car kind of I don't know, not in the right place at that time, I'd say. It wasn't the best car at that time. It looks like Shabby decided to back off and not put in a lap at that time. Maybe he wants to go out again. Maybe set a lap on the medium tire as well. And you know what? That could be a really good strategy as well. If drivers want to pit onto the medium tire, that's a good strategy. Possibly medium to hard, maybe medium soft medium. That could be an option as well. Or, yeah, who knows what strategy as well. But qualifying on the mediums could be a good option here.
Yes, it will be 100% a good option as I now go on board with Michael. He's just set off his lap time going to turn 3. 8,000 RPM, 136.8. Pretty impressive pushing down Josh into P2. But Michael gets his lap invalidated, so I'm just going to hand over to you again.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Michael as he was looking pretty strong in the first couple of corners there. If you go too wide or you cut in a little too much, then you can get validation pretty easily for around this track. It is very difficult to get a consistent lap for around here. But yeah, good lap timing from 8,000 RPM as Clarky goes fastest on the medium compound tire. Very impressive lap time from the Red Bull driver, showing that he's got a lot of pace right there. I think Josh has got another lap to put in. I think you can find a few more tenths maybe on the soft compound tires because I know he's I think he got a lot more pace than that. I think because of course he's up there with Clarky usually, and I think he's got a lot more pace on the softs, of course, than the mediums. And so Josh, I think he's going to be going out again for another lap. So we'll see how that works out as well. Also, what's happened is that Shabby has definitely pit for the medium compound tires. He has come in for the mediums, and he's looking to set a lap time on the medium compound tires, which could be a good option here.
It can be a very wise move, but in my opinion, it is pretty good because mediums can really help out around this track because number one, more tyre wear, and two, I think you get more speed than the softs even do, in my opinion. After Clarky's lap.
And sorry to break off the conversation here, but for some reason it shows the WCR stream is stopped working, which is very weird. Not sure what's going on now, but unfortunate to see that. What is going on here? Give me 1 second. I'll hand it over to you while I figure this out.
Yeah, that's fine. So as we go on board here with Dan now rounding the last couple of corners, it really set up a good lap time. It doesn't look like it currently is going to cross the line. Goes 6th fastest. Sorry for that. So nothing really to commentate on, because no one's really on their lap times currently. Dan going, I think he's going slowly. I'm not sure though. I think he's going out again. Yeah, he is going out again. He's going top speed. Down the straight he pops. He's going to cross the line for sector 1. Nah, he's going to come in because it's way slower. So currently the closest will be Donster. Lap time, but the Red Bull of Nigel is shortly behind. So Donster will now kick off his lap time. This is going to be what? Okay, never mind. This is going to be a full rundown thingy-mabob, like just a full rundown on Dunster's lap from sector 1, sector 2, and sector 3. So Dunster now gets the DRS, now going into sector 2. Doesn't look quite, it looks quite pacey going into turn 5 now with It's a purple sector 1. If it's a purple sector 1, you can already be eyeing up a fastest lap here, as Donst, I think, runs a bit wide of the racing line. And hopefully he does not get invalidation, because he's really taking that has to the limit and can possibly get himself an exceed of track limits. As Donst will now round, I think, one of the hardest parts of the track, because there's just a part of the track which is just so unexpected. Because you think it's just going to be a great little straight, but then in reality it's just going to be a full hard braking zone. Donst now speeding down. Hopefully he does not get any trouble here. He's currently going like Vettel and Leclerc from 2019, very quick, and is not really giving up. And as he rounds down the tunnel, now he's going to swift through the final corners. It doesn't look like it's going to be a fast lap, but I think it's just me being crazy, because he's now rounding the final corner. It'll be a 1:37.2, so he does miss it. He did mess it up on some point. Shabby with invalidation. 8,000 RPM goes second fastest. Zero is now going to cross the line with a 1:35.9, so goes faster than Clarky. That's good. That's just went Godspeed. Cartboy gets I don't know what lap. Death Wish is now on his lap time. It's a purple sector 1, but I think it's going to end up at like Donstar. And Lights gets 1:35.6. That is very solid lap time from the AlphaTauri driver. His teammate, Dan, currently in 10th place. 6 minutes left of this qualifying session. I think that's Josh now jumping into P3 there. As Death Wish is now going to speed down to sector 2. Will it be purple? No, it won't. So that means he has messed it up again. Once again, someone has messed it up at some point. Let's go on board here with the Alfa Romeo here, who's speeding down for sector 1. Not really that quick going into turn 5 on reaching the braking zone. But he's trying to go as fast as he possibly can. Pell is currently rounding the sector 2, like the main bit of sector 2, turn 9 and turn 10, into turn 11, and then that slight right kink, and then that big heavy braking zone of turn 13. DRS for Pell. Now he's gonna go around and going to. It's purple sector 2. So it does shows that he's got the pace to be pole position. But now with 5.5 minutes left, is this gonna be a fast medium lap time for Pell here as he runs down the tunnel section? Ooh, I think he does a mistake there. He got I think thrown by the curb there. I'm not sure. If you saw my stream, comment if you saw it. But he's not gonna cross the line. It's not going to be the fast lap. It will be P3 with a 1:36.3. Not bad, not too shabby. Oh my god, shabby. He runs a bit wide. Luckily, no invalidation as he goes into the tunnel. He is a bit of a lucky pie currently. The Moroccan, the African driver from Mercedes, as he rounds the final corner. I think he got bounced off the wall there, but he doesn't. No one cares because he goes third fastest, breaking into the 1:35s by just 1/100th of a second, and Michael goes third fastest. What qualifying session this has been so far. Now Death Wish is now currently within invalidated lap time. Not very good. Needs to say lap time soon. Troy. What just happened? How was that not invalidation? Excuse me. Jesus Christ, the stick drift. Alright, Troy is now going to cross the line for sector 1. He did cut corner a bit there, which can give him a bonus, but currently does not look like it without purple sector 1. Rounding turn 6, then turn 7. and speeding down the straight, and there's a yellow flag down in Sector 2, in one of the hardest parts of the track. Troy is now gonna try and not muck this up, because there is a bit of, oh, he goes wide and invalidates it. Very unlucky for him. And Light is confident with his P1. He thinks he can claim it, so hopefully he doesn't go to shambles. And I think, have you got this all sorted out, Jonah?
Yeah, it's not sorted out quite yet. Apologies for anyone that's watching right now. What's happened is that because I started another, because we had to end the other stream, it won't allow me to stream on YouTube because it's got the same title. So I tried titling it something else, but it still doesn't work. And I think it's one of those things where YouTube has to like process it, and it goes through like a 24-hour thing. It's like it's a weird process. But what's unfortunately happened is that I can't stream at this time on the WCR YouTube. There's nothing I can do about it. It's because we had to restart the stream, and right now I can't really do anything about it. So that's unfortunate right now. The only thing I can do right now is just keep working on it and see what the problem is. But yeah, nothing else I can do.
Okay, that's fine. So now I'm just gonna go on board with Crazy Dutchman, who is currently looking, he's going to have that pace, he's going to cross that line and probably get a good lap time. He goes a bit wide, luckily no invalidation. As he now speeds down the straight, this is going to be, that looked pretty dangerous if Crazy Dutchman approached the Ferrari of Cartboy. I think he was in the Haas at Russia, Imola, I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Donster, now, he had a good Sector 1 and Sector 2, but then he ruined it, I think, in Sector 3. And now I think he wants to go out again and prove everyone wrong. With 1.5 minutes left on the clock, this can be a big switcheroo. So, currently, as it stands, Troy will be starting dead last in the Ferrari. Then it would be Deathwish, then it'd be Cartboy, Big Doshbay, Electric, then Hella High, then Dan, then Donster, then Dutchman, then Project, then Nigel, then Dodoligo, then Clarky, then Josh, then 8000 RPM, then Pell, Shabby, Michael, Zero, and then Light. But this can all change if invalidation will reach into this say. But overall, Josh has parked it, so I don't think he's going to sell laps on. So I think that's his P7 here in qualifying, with half a minute left. So I think Hello High is probably going to finish P15. Will Troy make it? Will Troy make it with 10? There's 10 seconds left. Can he make it? 9, 7. 6, 5, 4. I don't think he can make it. I don't think he can.
Yeah,
he's not going to make it.
That's it for Troy.
It's going to be last place for Troy. That is very unlucky. What are your comments on him?
That is insanely unlucky for Troy. He just missed out by a few seconds there, and that's it. That's it for the Ferrari driver. I can't believe that's just happened there to him, and that's unfortunate, you know. But that's how it goes, you know. These things happen. He'll start at the back of the grid, and that's unfortunate. But it looks like qualifying is going to be over. A lot of people are retiring. There's still one driver that is looking to take pole position away, and that is Clarky, sitting P9 as it stands. Clarky in the Ferrari in P9. He's got purple sector through the second sector. All he has to do is make sure that he just survives this lap, and he might be able to get first place in this Grand Prix. This is going to be really interesting. Let's see if Clarky can do it. Round the final couple of corners we go. The Red Bull driver is looking to... Oh, a little mistake, though. He messes up a tiny bit, though. But the soft car... Oh, the soft runners just didn't work out for him, and he lost it. At the final couple of corners there, Clarky is going to be finishing in P9, and that is devastation for the Red Bull. The softs just didn't seem to work out at the final corner, and that means Lights will be taking pole position, his second pole in WCR. as he takes the pole position here at the Singapore Grand Prix with Zero in P2 and Zero's championship rival Josh down in P7.
Yeah, that's going to be very chaotic for Josh because he knows he needs to still be on form if he wants to get at least a chance to clench on that gold medal in the Drivers' Championship. So, and it's also pretty disappointing for two drivers, Deathwish and Troy. They haven't got the best luck and did not set a lap time, which I feel really bad for.
That's unfortunate. You know, this is how it goes though in racing. This is how tight it truly is, and it could be really, really crazy to see how this has all worked out. But wow, what a crazy qualifying session that was. Lights on pole position, his second pole in WCR, second pole in a row as well. He's been on a form throughout the last couple of races here. This is impressive from Lights there. A very good lap indeed. A 135.683 is the fastest lap, and he is just 0.3 ahead of Zero. That is a pretty good gap in terms of F1. And then Michael rounds off the top three. Apologies, guys, for me not really being there in the qualifying there. I'm sorry I wasn't able to commentate a lot on that. So I gotta say thank you to Decent Gaming. Thank you so much for covering for pretty much that entire qualifying session as I was trying to figure out the stream. Unfortunately, the WCR YouTube channel just seems like it's not really working right now. I'm still trying everything I can, so that's why I'm a little distant right now in terms of the commentary. That's why I'm kind of multitasking right now, trying to commentate to you guys and also working on my computer, everything I can to try and get the stream up. But for now, let's commentate on the action. We got a strategy game to play in today's race. We got a very exciting Grand Prix to look forward to with 10 teams, 20 different drivers for the Diamond Class race here in WCR Season 5. It's time for the Singapore Grand Prix. I hope all the viewers are ready to go.
Also, my game glitched out for a minute because I just saw wet tyres and I'm like, hang on a minute, is it raining? Because I can't see it. But then now they just turned into hards in the Mercedes garage. Number 8. It says on the garage thing.
Yeah, that's okay. It looks like maybe it was a glitch or something like that, but that's how it goes in racing. You know, maybe sometimes there's something, there was like a little glitch going on. There was a few glitches earlier on in the race, but it looks like it's all been fixed for now. But look at that tires. Look at those tires right now. It looks like half the grid is on hards, half the grid on mediums, and only 2 drivers on the soft compound tires. This is going to be a very interesting race.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting, and it's okay, I can just take it away while you carry on fixing out that problem.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You want to do the fiber lights, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Go straight ahead.
So, as people now enter in, I think, halfway up the street circuit of Marina Bay in Singapore city state, pretty much, and also this country is pretty much landlocked. Well, not really landlocked, but just lots of buildings are everywhere. There's little to none greenery around this nation. There's just lots of roads and buildings and bridges and everything, and tunnels and highways and everything like that. Also, Singapore is also under the big nation of Malaysia. I really miss the Sepang, but sadly they've got no money. Which F1 is pretty, and for FIA was a bit cruel on that, because Sepang was such a good track, and now they're replacing them with the not so great, pretty bad tracks, which no one really likes, to be honest, like Abu Dhabi. Like, no one really likes Abu Dhabi. Well, more people are starting to like it because of the track edit, but in my opinion it's still not good enough. Like Qatar, I don't think is good enough. Like, there's some tracks that just shouldn't be a grade A circuit, and there's a couple that should be one, like Brands Hatch. Like, there's many tracks, and there's 2-stop and 1-stop is currently looking lively for Lighter, as now everyone will now line up on the Singapore on the Singapore Grand Prix. Singapore Airlines sponsors everywhere, even on the start-finish themabob, little platform kind of thing. So, as we get underway here, is going to be 5 red lights as Troy now parks his car into the grid. Now it's going to be 5 red lights here in Singapore. It's going to be 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are underway here in the Singapore Grand Prix. Overall decent start from lights, ahead of Zero. Zero coming back. Oh, it's a 3-way battle, and there's a spin. There's a big crash. That's a big crash going into turn 1. That's everyone in a big compound pack. There's been lots of spins into turn 1, but I've never seen this amount of chaos into turn 1. That was a lot of chaos, and everyone's all bunched up at the back. I won't be surprised if everyone crashes. What a race start this has been, as Pellet's now trying to make a move on his teammate. Side by side, going into turn 5. Turn 6, what can he do it? Can he do it? Can he go around the outside? But he will get shut the door on. And this has been a crazy start. Mercedes having the worst day so far. Shabby all the way down in P18. Electric all the way down in P19. Wow, that was a
crazy start.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, that was just a big crash going into turn 1, and Troy has just jumped up 5 positions, 4 positions technically, from the back, which is pretty impressive. So I already knew there was going to be chaos, and people from the back are just going to step up, like Stonster's up into P12.
Yeah, super crazy start to the WCR Singapore Grand Prix. Lights leads us away by a second to 0. That is an impressive gap already for the AlphaTauri driver. Josh in the Alpine in P3 with the 2 Alfa Romeos and the 2 Red Bulls sitting 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. But crazy start already happening on the first couple of laps. I went back and kind of looked at the data there and kind of reviewed what happened. It looks like there was contact with Shabby, the 2 Alfa Romeos, and possibly Josh and Zero would say. It looks like all of them were kind of side by side, almost 3 wide into that corner. There wasn't a lot of room, and Shabby was spun around. Unfortunate to see that. It looks like, I think it was the Alpine of Dodaligo or a Red Bull. Couldn't exactly tell. Didn't really get a full look at it. But he was collected by another driver, and that spun him into another spin, and it just kind of, it was a domino effect for the Mercedes driver. But he is making his way through the field, guys. He is making his way through the field, and he's still coming through the field as we speak. He's up to 16th now, and is 6/10 away from Hella High's Haas, who's actually looking for a move on Troye, who's up to P14. Troye and Hella High making their way through these drivers, so we'll see how that all works out. But up at the front, still a pretty long train, I would say, but a lot of action going up there as we head into lap 3 of the Singapore Grand Prix. Currently on lap 2, now heading in to the 3rd lap.
Yes, and currently Josh was trying to eye up a move on Zero. Leaves the gap for later, but we will probably come back, and Clarkie's doing, I think, the exact same thing with Pell. Is that Pelly or Pell? I can't see
Pelly.
that. Oh, Pelly. And also, I know who spun Shabby. It was the 2 Alfa Romeos. They went 3 wide into turn 1, and they all collected into each other, but both Alfa Romeos survived that collision.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense now. It looks like, yeah, there was contact between the 3 there. Unfortunate to see Shabby down to P15, it looks like. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes in racing. But Lights has now a 2-second gap over CPI 0 as he sets the fastest lap of the race once again. An enormous gap in F1 terms to the championship leader, CPI 0 in P2. Josh from 7th to 3rd. What a great start that was for the Alpine driver. He's making his way through the field and looking to overtake CPI 0, who's in 2nd place right now. Those 2 battling for the championship, remember, and those 2 Alfa Romeos right there as well. Michael in the Alpha looking to make the move on Josh as he comes down into turn number 7. Michael looking for the move on Josh as he comes into turn 8 now. Pelly in the Alfa Romeo right behind as well. He's under pressure from Clarkie, though, on those medium compound tires. The Red Bull car looking to make the move on the Alfa Romeo, who's dropping a little back from his teammate, I gotta say. But I think Pelly will look like he's going to try and catch that gap off of Michael, but he might lose DRS on his teammate, and that could open the door for Clarkie to make the move on the Alfa Romeo. Same with Nigel, possibly making the move on the Alfa Romeo too. Crazy Dutchman gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, the first penalty we have seen in the Grand Prix as we now head into lap 3.
Yes, and I wasn't really surprised that there is a penalty. Well, kind of as well, because I mean it is a street circuit. There is some parts of the track you can get track limits. As Dan has had a spin, has banana into the wall. He slipped on a banana going into just the exit of sector at the start of sector 3, and he's now dropped back to P19. And Dunst is now trying to eye up a move on Dutchman, who is currently struggling. I mean, he did bump up 4 positions, but does have that penalty which can really cost him big amounts of time and lots of positions.
Yeah, that is going to hurt. You know, he has on those hard compound tires, so I expect Donsta to try and pressurize that McLaren as soon as possible because, of course, he is on the medium. Oh, that is Shabby. Looks like he was spinning off there. Did he get damage on the wall? Looks like he saved it, but that was really close to contact there, as it looks like a lot of moves going on at the top. Michaels got past Josh. Clarkey ahead of Pelly. So one Alfa Romeo's moved down a position. One Alfa Romeo has moved up a position. A lot of moves going up there for the battle for third and the battle for fifth as well, but I gotta say also a really nice save there from Shabby. He almost hit the wall on the exit of 3, and he saved it out of the wall, but did lose a lot of time to his rival Troye.
Yes, and those two, there's lots of moments that people can make mistakes and can cost points, and points for the team, for the constructors wise, and points for themselves. But sometimes they just do it for the team. What's happened?
Hold on, sorry to interrupt you there. Pelly is out of the Grand Prix, went straight into the wall there. That's a full course safety car that has been called out. Apologies for interrupting you there, but that is massive crash for Pelly. It looks like he misjudged his braking point, went straight into the wall at turn 14. I was actually riding on board with him at the time of the crash, and the Alfa Romeo is our first retirement from P6 in the Grand Prix, and that has just proved why Singapore can be a very difficult circuit to get right, and also why there's a lot of safety cars.
And we even predicted it. There will be an early safety car. We said there will be a safety car. And also, lots of drivers are going into the pits. Like 3 are in the pits. I think that's the 2-stop strategy, like I said earlier, which I mentioned. And that's my opinion on that as well. And it looks like someone's gonna get lapped soon. I feel like Deathwish or Godano will get lapped soon.
Not exactly sure. It depends on if they pit. Looks like they've already pit in today's race, so they should be able to catch up to the field. So that'll be good for them. I'm a little surprised why CPI Zero, Michael, and Josh, and Shabby as well all came into the pit lane. I'm not insanely surprised. It makes sense, but they have lost a lot of time to their rivals. It's up to them if they are able to put on a good performance and try and catch up to these guys. And this actually throws a big thing in today's race, because the thing is, guys, is that Josh and CPI Zero and Shabby are all on track at the same point in the Grand Prix, and we're going to see all 3, and Michael as well, chasing down the rest of the field, overtaking them, and then we'll see who has the best overtaking speed, because this is where it's going to matter, guys. This is where it's going to matter to see one of these champions that are battling for the championship, of course, which of them will be trying to make a move on these drivers up ahead.
Yes, and that is very, very true. And is that Light? Has he lagged out?
Ooh, that is Lights.
He has lagged out of the session. That I feel very bad for him, because now he needs to try his best to get in and hopefully prevent Clarkey from getting his P1 in the Red Bull, and prevent the Red Bull 1 too. I mean, they are sister teams and like that, but both of them have their own rivalries.
That's super unfortunate for Lights there. I hope he gets an invite. And actually, you know what? I'm going to just do it right now. Since he is the league owner, and he's the one that created the lobby, so I don't think anyone invited him. I'm going to quickly invite Lights just real quickly, guys. So give me 1 second as I quickly do that. So you'll see a blue screen for just a moment.
Yes, and there's nothing really to commentate about other than Dunster leaving a big gap to Dutchman, which is pretty interesting, because I've never actually seen that ever happen, which is pretty shocking and surprise. I'm not really surprised that someone's DNF'd, but the surprise that someone who was in the top 10, I was expecting like someone like in the bottom 10, like from 11 to 20, like Gadan, Electric, McDutchface. I'm not trying to defend them, but the thing is, if you don't have pace in qualifying, you won't have the pace in race unless you have good luck. That's what I have to say for that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, I cannot. For some reason, I'm getting an error in the PlayStation Network or something like that, showing that I'm unable to invite lights. So if anyone is on this grid right now or has this game, he's done so much for the league, and of course he's in P1 right
Okay. Yeah, and Pelly just commented in my chat, he's had an issue with his brakes, it just didn't work. So that's pretty unfortunate. Pretty unfortunate.
That is insanely unfortunate for Pelly, as that would make sense, of course, because it looked like he just went straight into the wall, could not brake at all, which just is unfortunate. And that's the hardest point to do it, because that corner is already a difficult corner to mess up the braking points as well. It's super difficult. Yeah, so I don't know. That's really difficult for Pelly, you know.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and especially when your brakes fail. Now he needs to probably get that fixed, because if it carries on, he needs to get that fixed.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, I'm sure he'll be able to figure out the problem, of course, as it seems like it's a little bit difficult to race with that, you know. As, of course, that's unfortunate, but hopefully he'll be able to get that fixed and will rejoin us at the next one.
Yeah, best of luck for him next race, whatever league race he's going to have next. Because I feel really bad for him that his brakes failed. It was a bit like, well, and I think that's lights back. No, my game just glitched. I thought lights was back as it was like faded into the normal car for a split second. But as I was saying, because I feel a bit bad for Pelly, because I mean such a normal incident to happen when your brakes fail, but it's still a bit of a painful one.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, it's how it goes. You know, it's how it goes. You know, I mean, I don't know really what to say. Just kind of move on and hope for the best in the future.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And I think probably safety car will go in next lap. Yep, carry on.
Yeah, I think it will be going in this lap. And quick update on lights. It looks like the game doesn't allow the host to rejoin, which in my opinion is just kind of ridiculous, because you should be able to invite anyone, especially the host, if it lags out. If there's an issue with the game, then that should be resolved. But that's just unfortunate, of course, because Lights has had so much bad luck. You know, he's always had the best performances in the leagues. You know, I mean, he's got so much pace. He's got so much talent, of course. He's gotten pole. He's gotten 2 poles in the last 2 races, and it looks like it's yet to be another difficult end to the Grand Prix for Lights, as no fault of his own, you know? This is just a lag issue.
Yeah, sometimes internet can turn this game round. As safety car is going in this lap, they don't care about Death Wish being 10 seconds behind Dan. And I don't know why he's not going top speed. I don't know if he's got that delta thing, because it's took him some time. Yeah, he's definitely got that delta thing, because if it's taking him forever, surely he's got the delta thing in my bob.
I'm sure he does. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe, I mean, I know delta can be kind of a difficulty, you know, sometimes in terms of just it not being exactly what the other drivers are like. You know, it could be higher, it could be lower.
Sorry
you know,
to interrupt, but it's starting to rain.
Rain? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it is raining. Okay, that explains why some of these drivers decided to pit or to stay out. You know, wow, that's really changed a lot of this.
Yeah, I actually did not expect rain in a place that there's not really rain in that place. Like Singapore barely rains like once a week, maybe even a month. I think to real weather broadcasts and things like that. As we go on the way, Clarky is in the lead because Lights has sadly got his internet issue because Nigel's now going to come back on him. Crazy Dutchman trying to eye up a move on Dudlego. Dudlego is trying to eye up a move on Project. So this is a battle for P4, and it's even going into Cartboy's business because Cartboy's about to make a move on Crazy Dutchman, who's got lots of pace.
Yeah, Cartboy right there in the Ferrari. He's looking for a move on Crazy Dutchman, like you mentioned. So he could be going for a possible P5, something like that in today's race, because who knows what could happen. And this is the thing, too, is that Project Raw, I understand why he stayed out, but this does affect his end result because he could be in puncture territory right now. The softs don't go well for round two, especially on 8 laps on the soft compound tires, and it's raining out there, so degradation is going to be even higher than what it usually is. So Project Raw, this is difficult for him. So I think, oh, he almost avoids the wall there. I think what Project Raw's got to do is he's got to pit right now, where everyone else might have the opportunity to stay out, but right now Project Raw's got to come in, and I think everyone will be doing the same.
Yeah, everyone is coming in. I can see Lights going in, I can see Clarky, I can see everyone going in. No, Clarky's staying out, but I did see Nigel going in. So
oh, Troy! Troy's just made a mistake. He's hit his wing, I think, on the exit of the last corner there.
That's very unlucky, and I'm very surprised. Clarky thinks he's confident to stay on the dry compound tyres, and also it's a pretty bold move to go into the inters because it currently looks like wet will be useful in like a lap or two because it's really starting to pour.
Yeah, I think intermediates are the best solution right now. Wets could come into play in a few laps, like you mentioned there. I think right now it is definitely not the time for the dry compound tires. As you can see, drivers are struggling there. Troy going wide. Josh just slowing down a little bit earlier than what you usually do in the draw. Oh, that is contact between Donsta and McDutchface. Both have made contact, and that is unfortunate there. What has happened there between the two? There is contact, though, with the Aston Martin and the Haas car, but that's promoted Deathwish Tricky from the back of the grid already up to 4th position.
Yeah, that's actually that's a bit of a, once again, it's a bit of a crash gate because he's just helped his teammate out. McDutchface did, as Deathwish Tricky is now up into a podium place, but probably will pit any time soon.
Yeah, most likely the top 6 will come into the pit lane. I think a driver that might come into the lead of the Grand Prix will be Nigel. This will be really good for him. Deathwish.
Yeah, that was literally what I was about to say.
What were you saying?
Up. I was literally about to say about Deathwish. He was he lost the grip on his dry compound tyres and just ran almost straight into the wall, and a bit of a Pelly. What Pelly done, but just without brake failure. It's just because it's raining.
Oh, that's super. Oh, Clarky! What just happened to Clarky? Clarky has just, I think, spun on the exit of the pits, and now he's been reset to the actual track. This is terrible for Clarky. He's going to be moving down to the back of the field now, as it looks like Shabby has spun it. Shabby has spun it off at the exit of the tunnel there. This is chaos here in Singapore, as everyone is being mixed up into their positions. Project Raw is now going to be up into 2nd place. Nigel, most likely into the lead of the Grand Prix. Dutchface, Josh, and Clarky stay out for another lap. Same with Deathwish Tricky. This is insanely surprising here today in Singapore.
Yeah, and it was electric. Oh my days, McDutchface! I slammed it straight into the wall, and I was in broadcast mode for Josh. I just see Dutchface just go straight into the wall. Very unlucky for him, and also the person that spun wasn't Shabby, it was electric.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense then. So Electric off the track there. He's going to rejoin, but because Dutchface has retired, that has brought out the full course safety car, which is quite interesting to see how that all works out. Yeah, that means Clarky, Josh, most likely Deathwish will all pit for the intermediate compound tires, and that will promote Nigel, Project Raw, and Dodaligo up at 4th and 5th. What a crazy beginning to this Grand Prix. Things have definitely changed. We said at the very beginning of today's race that weather could affect the Grand Prix, and you know what's just happened? It truly just has.
Yeah, and Clarky is looking like he's going to spin anytime soon, because he's almost spun a couple times and has saved it. Oh, he almost hits the wall there, very unlucky.
Oh, Josh has just hit the wall. One driver
Yeah.
that has hit the wall is the championship contender, Josh.
Yeah, it's very unlucky for him, but the thing is, he doesn't really have to worry, because Zero is all the way back down in P10, and he can do the exact same mistake, but he's currently on the inters, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon.
And that's the thing, is that Josh will most likely pit this lap and have to change his wing, so he might come out behind CPI 0, which could affect his end result of the Grand Prix. He's going to be behind his championship rival in today's race. Unless conditions stay as decrease, but it doesn't look like that anytime soon. Clarky into the pit lane. Josh stays out. Josh stays out. This is very surprising for the Alpine.
Yeah, I think that's very bold of him, because that can
Agreed.
cause some trouble. And Deathwish is also staying out.
That is very bold. I gotta quote you on that. I think the Alpine and the Aston Martin strategy here is very, very interesting. This has affected the end result, as you can see they're sliding quite a bit, but what do you think they're thinking of here? Everyone's most likely going for the intermediates. Do they think of staying out and actually going for the wet tires? Maybe if the rain increases, maybe they pit for the wets, but they're going to lose so much time. Or the other option here is if the rain decreases and they come out in P1, P2, could that be an option as well? Or what's your thoughts on all this?
I think that, because currently, on my screen, it currently looks like the rain is getting worse, so wets will be currently a bit of a, for now, it will be a bit of a weird option, but later there will be definitely people going onto the wets and things like that.
Yeah, agreed. I think the wets are going to be the better option in the few laps time. I think you're absolutely correct about that. But I'm very surprised that Josh and Deathwish did not pit under that safety car, of course, onto the intermediate. That would be the better option here, because if you stay out on the dry tires, you're going to lose so much time to your rivals out on track, and I just don't know if that's the right decision, but maybe they know something that we do not. We'll see how that all works out. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. They know something that we do not, and maybe that strategy will be the better option.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to get my dog out of my mic.
All good, all good. Do you need to go somewhere?
Nah, he just went off on bed. He already understands.
Alright, so, yeah, going back to the race here today, we're on lap 11 out of 31. Josh leads the Grand Prix by Nigel and Project Raw in the top three. That battle there for the championship is getting very interesting, as Josh almost loses the car there on the exit of the corner. I'd like some clarification, on what Josh and Deathwish strategy is here, but I'm sure they're keeping him to themselves and thinking what they're going to be going for. This is an interesting strategy by them, but I think it could work out. Who knows?
Yeah, Deathwish is going into the pits. I think he's given up on those dry combat tires, but Josh has stayed out again. It can cost some time, and it can cost places if he's going to go into the pits, because he's going to drop right back. He's probably going to drop into out of the points, maybe even out of the top 15, like 15th or 16th. He'll probably drop to, because everyone's all bunched up. It isn't a really good idea to pit pretty late, like after a safety car, because everyone will be so bunched up, and the gap will be very short, and then Josh will have to take some time to rebuild some speed and climb up.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue, Oh, what were we saying? What did you see?
Deathwish is on the hards.
Oh, you're right. He is on the hard tire. I thought he went on the intermediates. That is very surprising.
Yes, I just thought, oh, he's just gonna go inters, but no, he goes wide and goes with hards. He thinks. I think that Josh and Deathwish are thinking like, this is a track where it's pretty hot, so I'm thinking like, oh, Deathwish is in the wall. So back to what I was saying just now. They're thinking like, I think the rains should clear up soon, because it's such a mild area. And And I just forgot what to say.
All good. I think I gotta agree with you on that. It seems like the dries are maybe going to be better tires at the end of this Grand Prix. It looks like that the rain is starting to clear up a little bit, but I can't really tell at this stage of the Grand Prix. What it seems like what's going on is because this track is so long, and I don't know if this is how it works in the game. I've seen it before, but it's possible this is like this, but I'll just say it right now. Because this track is so long, I think we're seeing more rain in different parts of the track. I've been seeing more rain in Sector 3 and the long straight of Sector 1. It seems like we're getting it on the right side of the track. We're getting more rain on the right side of the track, less rain on the left side of the track. I could be wrong about that, but it seems like we're getting more rain on the right side of the track than the left, which is very surprising. But it looks like safety car's in, and Josh is already gone, quite early, in fact. So the Alpine decides to go quite early, but look at Nigel. He's just got so much more grip than the Alpine, and there he goes. He's going to try and make the move on Josh. And here comes Project Raw as well, down the inside on Josh. The McLaren gets ahead, and there's contact with the two teammates as well, Dodoligo and Josh. I think make a little bit of contact there. Dodoligo and Cartboy now getting past Josh. Josh just slipping down the order here.
Yeah, this isn't very good, as Lights, the man who's disconnected, is falling back big time. Josh is falling back big time, and now Zero's ahead. So Josh, well, I think Josh had he thought it was a good decision, but it turned out to be a bad decision, for his opinion.
Oh, contact! Clarky and Michael just made contact. Clarky went for a move, and Michael was already turning in. Clarky just went for a move that wasn't really there.
Yeah, that's going to be down to the stewards to say a word on that one.
Oh, that's unfortunate, but it looks like things have happened, and yeah, you're right. I think the stewards will take a look at that incident. Oh, Shabby just made the move on Josh. I think Josh just let Shabby pass there. Josh down to P14. What were you saying previously before what happened with Michael and who is it? I'd say Clarky, yeah.
Yeah, it was Clarky. I was just talking about the Lights, who's like everyone is dropping, and Josh, like as I said, Josh that was now falling back to his championship rival Zero in P6. It just went a turn of effects on him, as Hella High just got a penalty. Not that many penalties. I'm pretty surprised. What do you think?
Oh, on penalties? You mean there's not enough? Or not a lot?
Not a lot. I'm not really... for lap 13, I'd be like expecting like... Oh!
Oh!
I know what happened.
I'm not too sure either, but it looks like Hella High was hit by either Clarky or... I'd say... Who is it? Zero? Oh,
no, it was... So going into the final corner, Clarky broke a bit too late and slammed into the back of Hella High.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe those tires are just not working out for Clarky. Not exactly sure what's going on, because that's the second incident that he was involved there. That's unfortunate. As Project Raw going on Nigel for the race lead. Oh, they go a little bit wide. I think tires just aren't working out today, as it looks like Project Raw still side by side with the race leader as we come down into 7. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Now into turn 9. Project Ross still behind Dodoligo in P3 now. Cartboy in P4. He's got a lot more traction than Dodoligo, so could he try and move down into the heavy braking zone where, what was it, the Singapore Sling, it used to be called back in the early 2010s. But it looks like it's all good, of course. No Singapore Sling nowadays. There goes Project Raw on Nigel. Contact between the two as well, as Nigel and Project Raw continue to make contact. Keep it all good, guys, as they come down to turn 14. Who's going to get ahead? Is it Project Raw? Is it Nigel? Let's find out. Yes,
and Project is trying to go for the switchback on Nigel, as Nigel goes a bit wide of the racing line, and Project just dives bombs into down the inside as they make contact, and Project is eyeing up a move. He gets pushed again. They make contact. They keep on making contact. These two drivers are going very aggressive in such a narrow track, which can cause lots of problems.
Yeah, you know, side-by-side action is not very common for around this track just due to how close and narrow it truly is. But these guys are going for it. Cartboy makes a little mistake. Thankfully, he keeps it out the wall. But yeah, I think going side-by-side can be very difficult. But it looks like these guys are trying to just keep P1, and they're trying everything they can, getting a little aggressive, like you mentioned there. And they just got to make sure they keep it calm, you know?
Yeah, and they make contact again. Nigel was got spun by Project Raw. Definitely didn't mean to. It's just the fact that these two drivers are just too good for their own range. As Project just makes a move on Nigel. So, just what I mean by is Project and Nigel both know that it's very quality to have good fights, and if they make contact, it just makes the fight even better.
Yeah, I think when you have a lot of action on track, of course, it does provide some good commentary, of course. But of course, we don't want to see the two making contact as well. So we want to see some clean racing, and it looks like there was some clean racing there. But of course, it was also a little bit aggressive from the two of them. I think it could have been done a little bit better, but I think it's all good there as they move on. Maybe the stewards will have a look at that. I'm not exactly sure. Dodoligo looking for the move on Nigel, though. Oh, that's Electric Envy in the wall.
Yeah, that's very unlucky to him. He's probably going to get lapped by everyone. Nigel's really struggling on those inters. Both Red Bull drivers are both struggling on those intermediates. Maybe they done a bit of a Bahrain from George Russell and Valtteri Bottas. Like one of the screws maybe got undone or
it's
something.
Possible.
It is possible. It's happened to me before. It's actually happened to me. I'm not joking.
Yeah, I think, there goes Dodoligo on Nigel. Hold on, I'll hold that thought for just a moment because we got this nice battle for second. What a move that was from Dodoligo around the outside of the Red Bull. You don't see a lot of moves into that section of the track, but Dodoligo really put on the performance, and Dodoligo's been really on fire throughout the season. He's done a really good job as Cartboy on Nigel. I think Nigel must have damage or is struggling on the stars. I think that's, we continue that thought there as Cartboy and Nigel continue their battle. Nigel down to P4. I think Nigel's got damage with the battle with Project Raw, and I think Clarky's got damage for the contact with Hella High, if I'm not mistaken, or the contact with Michael. Not exactly sure, as it looks like CPI 0 on Nigel. Ooh, a little bit of contact. Nigel's, a little bit off the track there. Clarky now up into P4 now. Electric Envy out of the Grand Prix as 0 tries to go side by side with the Red Bull of Nigel as we come down into turn. Gets ahead for now.
Yes, and also Dan is trying to get into the mix now. Both Red Bulls are almost spins. He saves it, luckily. And this spin.
Real quickly, sorry to interrupt you there, but I think you're having some maybe some internet issues. As it seems like you're cutting out a little bit. Could you just repeat what you said there?
Oh, it's just because I've got like my lights and things up on my nose or something. Because it's happened to others before, and it's just like maybe my sore throat or something. Because it's happened.
Okay, we'll see if that fixes itself. It should be all good now. I think I can hear you fine. The viewers should be able to hear you fine too. Yeah, could you just repeat what you were saying before? Because I don't think we were able to hear you just a moment ago.
I was just talking about the two Red Bulls as they
gotcha. Okay.
on those intermediates.
Yeah, it seems like they are struggling quite a bit there. It's affecting their end results of the Grand Prix. Ooh, a lot of drivers struggling in the intermediates. I think they... Oh, Gadan and Troy make contact there. A little bit of contact at the corner there. What's going on with the tires here? It seems like these drivers are making mistakes into heavy braking zones. They're struggling with grip and all that sort of thing. As there goes Nigel into the pit lane. Is it time for the dries? Is that what's going on right now?
I think it is, because I don't see any rain on my screen. And I can see little to no rain, like puddles or parts of rain. I think it will be time for the softs as Nigel goes onto the softs.
Interesting. Okay, so Nigel, yeah, going for that soft strategy proves that the wets are done. It seems like it is the dry conditions out on track, but Nigel is the only one on those dries.
No, Josh and Hella High was also on them. Yeah, Dutchman's in. Dutchman's in as well. Let's see what size he goes to. And it looks like it's medium. So everyone will probably will now push for the dry compound tires because it is starting to dry up on the track here.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, it looks like everyone will be pitting for the dries probably about now at the end of this lap. That'll be the better tire at this time as well, as you did mention. So that's good as well. Hella High gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I wonder if that was a mistake, maybe spun off. We've seen that before in certain races where you spin off and you get a 10-second time penalty for spinning off. It's a Codemasters glitch, but it's how it goes. But yeah, I think everyone's going to have to pit this lap. This is going to be the best situation right now because if you don't pit, then you're just going to lose too much time.
Yeah, it's raining again, so it's just, this game has just gave me an Uno reverse card because it's raining again. So is it just like light rain just earlier? Like, I forgot what it's called in English. I know what it's called in Polish, but it's just dry rain, like keeps on changing.
Yeah, it's very surprising actually that it is going to like the dry rain period. You know, I can't think of the word exactly, but yeah, it is very surprising because it seems like there is a few spots on track where there was rain, but everyone's into the pits for the dry compound tires. You can see all the teams out, all the drivers coming into the pit lane. I wonder if that's a glitch where we're seeing like half the track is, or like a little spot of the track is like wet or something like that. That could be the case, but I don't know exactly. But it looks like everyone. Yeah, and you can see it is still raining out there, but it seems like the dries are the faster tire at this stage.
Yeah, and someone just joked in my chat. Someone driving like bumper cars. Bit of banter. Eh? What?
Well, I think it's just because of these tires. You know, I think it's really hard to brake, so these drivers are struggling with braking, and it's really hard to struggle with that, of course, and also deal with overtaking your rivals in today's race. So it's understandable why there maybe could be some contact and stuff like that with some drivers. I'm sure the stewards will take a look at what's going on there. But it looks like Josh has got a 3-second time penalty, but Cartboy and Michael lead us away, but technically Project Raw is the race leader, and he's under pressure from Dodoligo, Clarky, Zero, Troy, and Shabby. All those drivers in the hunt for the race victory today. It's going to come down to the last couple of laps till we end off this Grand Prix. It's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, and also just when I done when you heard me say that weird bit. Yeah, Hella High just collided into the wall and just when I caught it. I just caught it.
Oh no, that's unfortunate. Doesn't look like he has any damage, but it looks like he lost a little bit of time. Is that what was going on there?
I think so, because I did see him collide into the wall. So 100%. Cartboy and Michael in the pits. Cartboy goes for the meds. Michael goes for the... We will now find out. And he's getting thrown down. They're getting thrown down the order. And I think Michael's going mediums as well. No, he's going soft. Yeah, he's going soft. Yeah, and he did have damage. They did switch front wings. I did see that.
That is very surprising. So I wonder if he can make it to the end of the race on the softs. This is where we come back into the strategy game here, viewers. Do we think Michael will end off this race on the soft tires, or will those softs degrade too much and he'll have to pit again? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and he might pit again if the rain comes back, and as it kind of is. As Clarky eyed up a move on Dodoliga and got the move done. Zero's now going to pull out. But he's going to back out in and go behind and try and get some slipstream to get the move done and get himself into the podium and run away with his championship. But there's still some races left on the cards, and sometimes you can perform very badly, sometimes you can perform very good. Like I said, I think last race, and like they always say, sometimes may be good, sometimes may be bad.
Yeah, I think that seems to be what's going on right now. You know, sometimes people do have good races, sometimes people do have bad races. That's just how racing goes. That's how life goes, you know. And they'll always move on from this. Yeah, we move on into the final few laps of this Grand Prix. Massive battle for first position. Project Raw, Clarky, Dodaligo, and CPI Zero in this fight for first place as Nigel's out of the Grand Prix. That could cause a safety car or something like that. Also, viewers, just FYI, you're probably wondering why I'm not getting any onboard cameras of these drivers. The reason why I'm doing that is because I'm getting some sound glitches going on the onboards, and I don't want you guys to hear that, of course, because it can be a little difficult, but it's only in certain parts of the track when we go like underneath the bridges and stuff like that, getting a little static over the sound there. So I could do it for a moment, but just FYI on why I'm not doing that. But anyway, Clarky looking for the move on Project Raw, CPI Zero, and Dodaligo battling it out. It looks like CPI Zero gets ahead of Dodaligo, so the Williams up in the third place. CPI Zero could be going for the win today. What's your thoughts on that?
It can be possible with 12 laps left on here in the Singapore Grand Prix. Hella High is really struggling on those mediums because, I mean, and also Clarky and Project just made contact. I don't know if you noticed, but I did. I'm just gonna get an onboard with them as now Clarky should go into. Will he pull out to the left? Will he pull out to the right? He'll pull out to the left. He's gonna cut down the inside. Wow, Project goes very aggressive and dirty and shuts the door right in front of Clarky's front wing, which could have caused damage and a safety car, which could have ended Red Bull's chances and hopes for a race win.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, you know. I think that's how it goes. But I think they'll move on. Doesn't look like there's any contact. Clarky in the Red Bull looking to overtake Project Raw as soon as possible. Oh, that's a little too late for Clarky, and he's in the wall. Straight in the wall goes Clarky, and that is unfortunate. He spins around. That is his chances of the podium and the win over from today in Singapore. And that is extremely frustrating for the Red Bull driver, as it looks like he just went too late on the brakes, hit the back of Project Raw and spun the car. That's just a little too late from Clarky, I'd say, and it looks like he messed up a little bit with his braking point there.
Yeah, it happened with Hella High. It happened with someone else, I think, in qualifying. I'm not sure. Michael's out of the session. This can... Oh no, I was literally about to say Crashgate, but Pelly's out. So, overall, this has been what... Well, not really what I expected, because in a different racing league, which was absolutely chaotic in Singapore, I couldn't stream it. Only 6 drivers finished out of 20, and it was just chaos everywhere. Chaos, chaos, chaos.
Yeah, I think Singapore can provide some chaotic races. I think today we've had a few incidents, I'd say, but it's all been pretty much good. These guys have put on an amazing show, as always, in WCR. We always see some battling, some great overtaking, you know, some great fighting between all these guys, and strategy calls, weather. It was incredible to see this race go on, and very impressive stuff from everyone here today. But yeah, in terms of Singapore, I think Singapore can throw in some very interesting Grand Prix, and like you said, you had a stream earlier on where only a few finishers finished, and was that at Singapore, or was that at a different Grand Prix?
No, it was in Marina Bay. There was lots of safety cars. I think there were 4 safety cars. My stream didn't work, don't know why, because every time I started it, a couple minutes later, it was just like, gone. And then I didn't know what to do, and then I just felt bad for the league owner because I said I was going to stream it.
That's okay, you know, sometimes that happens. Oh, Zero round the outside of Project Raw. There's a little bit of contact, though. That's a little late, but he went for it. There goes Dodaligo, making a move on Project Raw as well. The Alpine and the McLaren side by side as we come through turn 8 now. Who's going to get ahead? The McLaren or the Alpine? A little bit of wheel banging there between the two there. It looks like Project Raw gets ahead of the Alpine for now. CPI Zero around the outside of the McLaren. A little bit of wheel banging between the two, but it looks like there was no damage, and it just worked out, I guess, for CPI Zero up at a P1 of the Grand Prix. Dodaligo goes a little bit wide. That could invite Shabby to make the move on Dodaligo. Shabby back into the fight for the P1 in today's race. Josh down in P13. It's not been a good race for Josh in Singapore. Hopefully he'll come back at the next one. But CPI Zero looking pretty strong right now in P1, looking for another win. Back-to-back wins this would be for the Williams driver if he's able to continue this pace and continue the position.
Yes, but hopefully he does not do any mistakes, and hopefully I am not jinxing this, because if I do, I'll feel, like I said earlier, I'll feel pretty bad, because I don't like jinxing, and I'll feel like I'm gonna be the one that's blamed at.
Yeah, you know, sometimes there can be commentator's curse. I've had it many times myself where I say, like, one driver's didn't do really good and then, like, it instantly crashed out right whatever, and it's just like, oh, really? Dang it. But it's all good, you know, all good there. So CPI 0 leads us away by Project Raw in P2, Dodoligo in the Alpine sitting P3, Shabby in P4, Troya in P5, Cartboy P6, 8,000 RPM makes his way up to P7, with Donsta, Gadan, and Crazy Dutchman rounding off the top 10. That's the grid right now with the top 10 drivers. That is Dodoligo and Mercedes Shabby trading positions for a moment there. It looks like Dodoligo gets a little bit of a difficult pace off that particular corner. Shabby's looking for the move on the Alpine, and it looks like the Mercedes will look to make the move on the Alpine.
Yes, it was pretty tight, but still he's gonna stay behind as he cuts down the inside on Dodoligo. He just pulls out to the left, but Dodoligo's Dodoligo scrap back. This is fantastic stuff now here in the street circuit with lots of walls everywhere and very narrow. Shabby's gonna come back on Dodoligo. This has been so far one of the best fights I think I've seen so far, as now Shabby 2K takes P3 away from Dodoligo, but Dodoligo can always come back.
Brilliant move from Shabby there. That was very well done, very well executed by the Mercedes driver. Next up is Project Raw. Can he try and challenge that McLaren driver and get himself up into second place? He knows that CPI 0 is leading this Grand Prix. He knows that he has that battle with CPI 0 in the championship, and he'll definitely try and attack the Williams driver for the race victory. There's still a few laps remaining of this, so we could see a massive fight for P1 between Shabby, CPI 0, Project Raw in that battle as well. It's going to get very interesting. By the way, Troye is going to try and make the move on Dodoligo, and Troye is in a good chance of getting a high position in the championship as well. He's got DRS. He's looking to make the move on the Alpine driver. He's going to try and send it. No, he's not. He's going to back off. He knows that there's not enough space to send it down into the end of Raffles Boulevard there. The two Ferraris right there. Cartboy in the second Ferrari right behind his teammate in today's race. But the battle still continues on for fourth place.
It will carry on, and currently it's starting to separate, and that's not good news because we like to talk a lot. That's why we like commentating, because everyone thinks we like to talk a lot, because that always happens to me. I think it happens to you as well, doesn't it?
Well, of course, yeah. I think I love talking to everyone. It's a dream of mine. Sometimes I get a little bit of a sore voice afterwards, but it's definitely worth it. You know what I mean? I love talking. You know, it's a fun thing.
Yeah. As Troy was now a 10th, and it's a safety car.
Oh.
It's a full course safety car. Clarky says, "Peace, I'm going to DNF," and that's a light is in P10. So far, this chaotic race has turned into an even more chaotic race, which is just fantastic.
Absolutely. This is great action for the commentary here today. Great action for the stream. Hope you guys are enjoying this one, as we just have a few laps remaining in the Grand Prix. Major action on track as Shabby 2K and Troy come into the pit lane for most likely these soft compound tires. They have chosen to go for the strategy and will now come up in P5 and P6. This is going to be crazy to see who ends up on top here. Will Shabby and Troy make the move on these guys, as Hella High has been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags? What? Did he get too many penalties or something like that? What happened there?
He just overtook the safety car and he just went past zero and the safety car, and he just didn't care.
That makes sense. Okay, so I wonder if maybe he thought he could overtake the safety car, because sometimes you can overtake the safety car in races. You know, I've seen it before where you can do that, but that's only if the first place driver pulls off to off the track. like if you pull off to like the side area of the track, like off the curb or something like that, then that lap car can go ahead and then overtake the safety car. It's okay for that, but it looks like that was not the case here. Unfortunately to see that, but that is the way it goes. So 12 runners remain in the Singapore Grand Prix. We've had a lot of action on track, a lot of teams still remaining. Ferrari looking for some dominant points in today's race. AlphaTauri in P9 and P10. One of the drivers out of the race technically because Lights wasn't able to rejoin. What could have been moment for Lights, I think. He could have been fighting for the race victory here today. It's a very big what if and a question mark, but he'll definitely come back stronger at the next one. But before we continue on with the commentary, I just want to say thank you to all the viewers that have joined us. I know there's been a mix-up with the streams. While we've been commentating, I was able to get the WCR YouTube channel stream back up and running. It took a little bit, but I was able to get it back up. So it is actually on here. Sorry, I lost my words there. It is actually on the YouTube channel right now, so you guys can go watch that right now. But yeah, just wanted to say, if you guys are interested in seeing more WCR content, subscribe to the WCR YouTube channel, subscribe to the Formula Joe Twitch channel, and subscribe to the Disna YouTube channel as well. So, into the race now, back into the Grand Prix. What's your thoughts on Shabby, Troy, 8,000 RPM, and the rest of the field, all pitting for the soft compound tires? Do you think Shabby 2K will be able to maybe try and make a move on Cartboy, Dodi Ligo, Project Rob, maybe get on the back of CPI Zero to try and challenge his championship rival?
I think I know what he's going to do. So his strategy is to pit late. His strategy was to pit late into the race, and then when he pits as late as he possibly can, he will just come back with a good compound tire which can give you lots of speed, and he can just climb back into a place where he wants to be after coming back from his inactivity.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see how that's worked out, and it's hard, I mean, put yourself in that person's shoes, and see exactly what they're feeling. It's difficult. It's really difficult.
It is actually pretty difficult, and I'm just hoping that there's gonna be less DNFs, because so far it's been like 7 DNFs and then 1 DSQ.
Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah, Hella High was disqualified, and then the rest of the field were all retirements of the Singapore Grand Prix. It is how it goes, though. I mean, we've been talking about this all race. Singapore is a very difficult circuit. It's got a lot of walls. People do crash out. That's what we're saying. People do crash out, and then it's just something that happens. I've crashed out many different times on a racing league, and it's just how it goes. It's a very difficult track to master.
Yeah, and there's also different tracks like the Chinese Grand Prix, like many other tracks. Maybe even Jeddah is pretty hard, especially with the S's. But back to, I think we're going to start to focus on the driver of the day currently. That's going to be our current focus very, very soon, because I mean, it's almost the end of the Singapore Grand Prix.
Yeah, we are going to see the drivers go underway as well. Racing will resume, and while we're doing this and commentating all this, driver of the day votes will start coming in, so guys, start thinking about that. As here comes Shabby on Cartboy. Here we go. The Mercedes driver on the soft compound tires, remember, much faster than his rival. Here comes Shabby on Cartboy. Let's see if he can try and go side by side with the Ferrari, coming down into turns 5 and 6, now into 7 at the exit of Raffles. Who's going to try and brake later? It is Cartboy that brakes later. Makes contact with Dodoligo. A little bit there. A little bit of wheel baiting between the 3 drivers. There's Cartboy looking on the move, but here comes Shabby round the outside of the Ferrari. Oh, and there's contact. Shabby and Cartboy made contact there, and that is super unfortunate. Both drivers are in the wall. That promotes Troye up to 4th place, 8,000 RPM. Back up into the top 5 as well, as Shabby and Cartboy have made contact.
It is actually very, very unfortunate for the 2 lads, because one of them just pulls out one or too many moves, and it just costs both of their races. Because now Shabby, after looking to have a good race, comes to absolutely destroying from someone else because I mean, someone did block him at a wrong time because he already did get a tie-in next to Cartboy's side pod. But Josh is slowly coming back in P6 on the soft compound tyres. If Zero makes a mistake, that's going to be just a gift for Josh.
Yeah, it will be. You know, it will be a gift for Josh. You know, we'll see how it all works out. And Troy could actually upset that championship here. He's on the soft compound tires. He could be making a move on Dodoligo and Project Raw very soon. He's actually going to try and make the move on Dodoligo pretty fast. And then he might try and make the move on CPI 0. And then might be able to try and go side by side with the Williams driver. And maybe get ahead. And that might put CPI 0 down to second. And give more points to, or allow him to get less points than what he is getting right now. That would help out Josh. Of course, CPI 0 wants the max amount of points. As Troye makes a beautiful move on Dodoligo. Goes around the outside of Raffles Boulevard and makes the move into P3. Now Troy absolutely flying through the field. What Project Raw and CPI 0 need to do, they need to hold back Troy because they just have a few more laps of the Grand Prix. CPI 0, if he's going to win this race and if he's going to set the most points in today's race, then he needs to make sure he defends against Troy and make sure that he's just pushing that car as much as possible, and also making sure that he's consistently having focus and making sure that he's within the lines and just doing the best he can.
Yes, I just needed to catch my breath there.
All good?
So, in my opinion, this has been this has been a pretty decent overall race. Like, CPI 0 is probably going to take the win unless he does a mistake, and then Raw will jump up into P2 unless Troy can do something about it. 7/10 separate the McLaren and the Swedish Ferrari.
Yes, yeah, Troye looking to make the move on Project Raw as soon as possible. He's got just 3 laps remaining as Josh sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 138.5 for the Alpine driver. Looking pretty strong right now. He's up to P6. Another thing we have to worry about is the penalties as well. Even if Troy does not overtake Project Raw, he will still grab second place as it stands because he has no penalties and Project Raw does. So, but of course, Troy wants P1. He wants to make the move on CPI 0, so he has to get past Project Raw first to be able to do that. As 8,000 RPM gets up into P4, 8,000 could be going for the podium in today's race. Let's quickly take a look at penalties. Actually, it's looking really difficult for him to get that podium, but he does have the opportunity to do so. So let's see.
Yeah, it can possibly happen for him. The thing is that Troy needs to hope for at least a silver medal. He just needs to relax and just at least be behind Raw by at least 3 seconds, or the gap can be smalled. As Troy just jumps up into P2, does not care about the penalties, and just jumps up into P2. And a very interesting race. Like, some of the favourites crashed out, in my opinion. So
Agreed.
I thought,
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I thought like Clarky or maybe Michael can like come in and get P1. Or maybe Shabby can come in and get a P1. But all of these lot have DNF, which is just shocked me. Because, I mean, not really, because it is a street circuit. It's pretty hard to, like, get it right in people's books. And overall, it's just been an average Singapore Grand Prix with lots of DNFs. Well, just in a Formula 1 game, in a league race, it's just been a typical Grand Prix for Silverstone in racing leagues.
Yeah, I think a lot of main contenders were taken out of the Grand Prix there. They're out of the race, of course, and so unfortunate to see that, but that's the way it goes. You know, we're going to have retirements at one stage or another. That's just how racing goes. I think we said at the very start that we could see some main contenders for the win out of the Grand Prix. Clarky, Michael, Shabby, other drivers in that list too. Just some of the names that are out of the Grand Prix. Same with Lights as well. He's not technically out of the race, but in a way he kind of is. Yeah, those drivers had a chance for the win, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for them at the end. They'll come back next week at the Japanese Grand Prix and hope for a better one. We'll see how that all works out. But we just have 2 laps remain. CPI 0 has got that gap even bigger than what I was anticipating. Of course, Troy, I was expecting him to fly against CPI Zero because he's on the fresher tires. You know, he's going to be a lot faster than CPI Zero here, but CPI Zero has gained time on Troy. Zero has done an absolutely amazing job today, and if he wins this race, hats off to him. He's an absolute legend, and he's got a huge gap to Josh in the championship as well. It's been Zero's day today. He's done a really good job.
Yes, 100%, and he's going to get his second win in a row, which is going to boost up his form, and he can possibly even go for 3 times in a row at the Suzuka International Circuit, aka the Japanese Grand Prix. Zero in the final laps. In the final lap of this race, what can he produce? What speed can he produce? Can he get that gap to 4 seconds? And as I speak, he's just done it.
Yeah, wow, he's actually on fire right now. He's starting to pull away against Troy. I wonder if Troy's tires are just going off or something like that. But CPI Zero absolutely doing a great job right now against Troy. So we'll see how that all works out. Troy, I think those tires are starting to fall back. That's affecting his end result. 8,000 RPM looking for make the move on Project Raw. So that's quite interesting as well. But through the narrow part of the section we go. We're just going to ride on board with CPI Zero, right on the off-cam, of course. And we're going to take the final few laps of the Grand Prix to see where CPI Zero ends up in today's race. And, of course, celebrate his win in the Singapore Grand Prix as we ride on board.
Yes, it's going to be his second race win as he goes through very fast going into the chicane. Now just before the tunnel. Can he get a good exit? Will he not do a mistake? Because if he does a mistake in the final lap, that's just gonna cost some time and some pain. As now he's gonna come around the final corner. Zero, take a bow. You have just won 2 races in a row and has won the Singapore Grand Prix here in Marina Bay.
Congrats to Zero. What an amazing job to him today here in the Singapore Grand Prix. He is the winner of the WCR Diamond Class Season 5 Singapore Grand Prix. Troy in P2 with Project Raw rounding off the podium. Another podium for the reserve driver as he takes 3rd place. Great to see him back on the podium as well. Same with Troy. Congrats to him, but this is the guy that we're going to be talking about for a while. CPI Zero, a form he has been on through the last couple of races. Back-to-back wins for the Williams driver. He won in Imola. He won in Singapore. Maybe he'll win next time out in Suzuka.
Yes, this was a very good commentary today. Well, tonight for me. For him, it's in the middle of the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. So this was Decent Gaming and
Formula Jonah.
yeah. Hopefully you had a great time watching this amazing Grand Prix here in Singapore and very chaotic one. We'll see you next time at the Suzuka International Circuit. And from us, peace out.